Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Tawhid from World Academy, and I would like to welcome everyone to our webinar, which is on building inclusive workplace, DEIB in corporate HR. And today I'll be the moderator. Today we also have our president, Mr. Rupak, from World Academy, and also our trainer, Mr. Ronaldo Turla, who will be conducting today's session. So with no further ado, I would like to give the platform to Mr. Rupak to give us some briefs about World Academy, then we'll go to the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tawhid. Welcome on board, dear delegates, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to World Academy's webinar. And we have our resource person with us. I will not take much time for roughly around 7 to 10 minutes time I will be taking. And after that, we will have our long-awaited webinar on this DEIB, one of the most demanded areas for HR professionals nowadays. We are very conscious about DEIB in place in our workplace for getting the benefits of the from our people. So that is one of the very breathing point for HR professionals towards the business areas as well. So DEIB helping us a lot to get the engagement, right? Engagement of people. Engagement. There are formula 3H formula for employee engagement. One H is head, engaging through heads. Another H is hand. So you need to engage physically. That is hand. And another H is heart, the emotional attachment. So to use this 3H for getting the 100% engagement of your people, DEIB is one of the very, very important tool to be used or areas to be concerned about. And Mr. Ronaldo Turla will be talking about DEIB much on this, roughly around 1 hour time. So he will be talking on this. I will not go for that way. So I'm just sharing my screen for around 5-7 minutes to introduce this World Academy. Stay with us. I'm sure my screen is visible. Once again, on behalf of World Academy, this is Rupak Zaidi, Vice President of World Academy, welcoming you all for this webinar. So World Academy for Research and Development and UK-based Professional Certification and Professional Education Institute. Our motto is shaping expertise, nurturing ambitions, elevate your potential. So that is our main slogan, main motto. We are always beside our professionals for developing their competencies to be equipped with the present world. So that is our UKRLP number as the Register of Learning Providers in the United Kingdom. And we are ISO certified organizations, couple of ISO certifications we do have. And our global landscape, we have our presence in 65 plus countries, and in every month the number is counting 200 plus programs from academic to certified, and we have alumni size 30,000 plus, and this size is also increasing day by day. 132 instructors from 14 countries, and 30% of our alumni are holding C-suite, the senior level people. 95% course completion rate at first attempt. So that is our global landscape. We are working globally with different institutes. We are the accredited institute by NQL, which is an off-call regulated organizations, and a couple of others from United Kingdom, from USA, HRCIS, HRM, ATD, the giant 3 certification awarding body in US for HR professionals. We are working with them. And one of the very prestigious recognition World Academy achieved from SHRM, which is called SHRM Academically Aligned Institute. That means SHRM recognizes 2000 plus universities in US 2,000 plus universities, not institutes. And we are probably the one and only institute who got this recognition from SHRM, which is academically aligned institute. That means our master's program in HR and our postgraduate diploma in HR is aligned with the SHRM certification programs. That's why they give us this recognition, SHRM Academically Aligned Institute. Our Mission 2030, we proudly declared very, very loud and clear mission for World Academy 2030 mission to become the number one professional certification institute in the world, having presence in 100 countries. So two things. First is to become the number one professional certification institute in the world, and another is having 100 countries presence. These two are clean and clear and loud mission 2030 for World Academy. And with the blessing of Almighty, with the cooperation of all our stakeholders, we are very much on track to achieve this mission 2030. That is our recent some activities we have done so far in African belt. There is the graduation ceremony for our graduates in Kenya. We have done it in August. All these three programs have been done in August. And we also have a conference, Global Professional Summit 2025 in also in Kenya. We have done the graduation ceremony for our graduates in Uganda. That is all also in August. And also we have done one uh, International People Summit, which is a HR related People Summit 2025, also in Uganda. And we have done another graduation ceremony for our people, our graduates in Tanzania. And at the same time, we had a Global Professional Summit 2025 in Tanzania as well. So these are some physical activities, and we are very much hopeful to have a similar kind of conference in Philippines in very near future, inshallah. And we are really, I mean, very positive, and we have a very good presence in Philippines as well. We are going to start, and of course we believe that Philippines can contribute, even though for different parts of the world, with this World Academy of Philippines, we are going to establish this footprint in Philippines as well in very near future. So I'm not going much time for my presentation. It is done already. So I'm going to hand over the floor to our today's resource person, Mr. Ronaldo Turla, for talking on the particular topic for which we are waiting for the last couple of weeks even. Mr. Ronaldo, please proceed with your presentation. And also, I can request you, you can introduce yourself so that I mean people can understand who you are. With that note, I conclude it here today. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience. I will be back again. Maybe after his presentation, we will have a dialogue on a couple of areas of modern HR, how the modern HR is practicing, what are the areas to be I mean concentrated by our HR professionals, how we can become more business focused or numeric HR practices, how we can do. So we will have dialogue on this, and of course there will be question answers as well. There will be plenty of time will be in hand for that dialogues and question answers part. So I will be back again around after 1 hour time. Thank you very much. Ronaldo, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rupak, for that introduction. And again, would like to welcome everyone in this webinar sponsored by World Academy. Again, my name is, you can call me Ronnie Turla, and I am a certified human resource professional. And just recently, I have also been a graduate of the Certified Organizational Development Professional, sponsored by the World Academy. No? I've gone through the course, and I gained a lot of knowledge and, of course, network as well with that particular course. No? And today, I'm happy to be invited to host this webinar, no? And also to represent the Philippines in this pursuit. No, as what Mr. Rupak has mentioned, there is that expansion of the programs and courses. So hopefully, the Philippines would also participate with this global courses that we have. So for this afternoon, I'd like to ask for your indulgence to listen, no, to our short webinar, and I hope you should be able to interact with us as we go through this particular program. There will be some Q&A at the end of the webinar program where we can try to interact, no, with your questions. But as I present my webinar for this afternoon, feel free to chat your questions, comments, or even reactions. You may use the react button for those things that you will encounter as we discuss this particular and important topic. So again, without further ado, let me now jump in to the webinar proper. Okay, so let me just pull up my slide. So for this afternoon, we have chosen this particular topic so that we can talk about something very relevant for a lot of us right now. So my webinar, my presentation will focus on the aspect of building, a truly inclusive workplace. So my agenda for today are the following. One is to understand what is inclusion and what is equity. Okay. Also, part of the webinar is for me to be able to discuss with you some strategies for promoting inclusion. And of course, how do we ensure equity in the workplace? I'm also going to provide some case studies that are already documented and proven, both on an international setting as well as the local setting for the Philippines, especially that we have our local audience as well here in the room right now. So I will be discussing some of the local cases that are happening in the Philippine setting. Okay, so as we start off, let me put some quick definition of what of the terms that I'm going to discuss with you today, which again pertains to DEI. So it's an acronym that is summarized. So when we talk about diversity, diversity is defined here as the presence and participation of individuals with varying backgrounds and perspectives, including those who have been traditionally underrepresented. So, in short, when you talk about diversity, you're talking about the composition of an organization. So, when there is diversity, everyone is given that kind of acceptance and people are represented, and hence you have the power of people coming from different backgrounds. So composition is what we mean by diversity. On the other hand, when you say equity, that's equal access to opportunities and fair, just, and impartial treatment. So equity pertains to the outcome of what happens in an organization. And today, we're also going to discuss what are ways that we can try to promote equity. And finally, also, we're going to look at inclusion, and it's defined as a sense of belonging in an environment where all would feel welcome, accepted, and respected. Okay, so hence, when we talk about inclusion, we talk about experience. Okay, so that's what DEI means. So to start off my discussion, let me give you a quotable quote regarding DEI. So DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is not just a checkbox that HR ticks as part of the program. A lot of times, as HR professionals, we can become guilty of this, meaning, that when there is a new thing about HR or human resource, we can feel that we try to ride along with that particular concept. But I think no, with the aspect of DEI or diversity, equity, and inclusion, it is totally different because as you will see, the principles of DEI cuts across all principles and functions of human resource management. No? As an HR professional for the past 25 years, I've seen my practice really concerning with dealing with people from different ranks, from different backgrounds, and I realized no, that HR really espouses this particular principle that we need to be able to include people in the organization. Okay, so let me share with you a very quick video to introduce the concept of diversity. And this video has a title of different but the same. So let's watch this video.
We cannot hear the sound.
Let me just check. Can you hear the sound of the video?
No.
Hold on.
Usually embedded video sounds is not being broadcasted in Zoom, probably. So what can you do?
Okay, let me try again.
Okay. Yes, now it's okay.
They're all different from each other, with different abilities, different family structures, different skin tones, different facial features, different ethnicities, and different genders. Each one of us represents a unique mix of personality traits, experiences, and backgrounds, which makes us diverse. However, diversity is not about how we differ. It's about embracing our individualism. For diversity allows us to recognize our differences, to celebrate our differences, and to appreciate and value one another's differences, because we are all global citizens, part of this ever-changing world which evolves by recognizing and exchanging ideas. For strength, innovation, problem solving is found in our differences, not in our similarities. Let us show respect, open-mindedness, and acceptance of one another's differences, so that together we can create a vibrant society where differences are embraced and individualism is celebrated. Thank you for viewing our inspirational video and feel good. Don't forget to subscribe. And remember, we all belong to one human race.
There. So I hope this video resonated with you with regards to the topic that we're discussing for this afternoon. So let me continue my discussion regarding how we understand inclusion and equity. As we define the term inclusion and equity in the workplace, we need to understand that inclusion is about fostering an environment where all individuals feel welcome, valued, and respected for their unique contribution. So that means, no, as an HR professional, this is something that we need to incorporate in our recruitments, in our onboarding practices, and we need to be able to embrace inclusion in our HR profession. The importance of equity as well. No, equity ensures that all employees have fair treatments, access to opportunities, and the support needed to succeed in their roles. No? A lot of times, employees can feel that when they enter into an organization, no, the question in their mind would be, can I be given the proper treatment? Can I be able to develop myself further and be promoted to the next position? So that is an issue of equity. So that means that if the organization is practicing inclusion and equity, it provides access to possible no development, possible improvement in the lifestyle of people in the organization. So thrive to create a thriving workplace culture, both inclusion and equity are vital for creating that kind of culture. So definitely we would want to have the kind of culture where people really thrives, no? And we would want to see this happen uh, while we're interacting with them. Now, the importance of diversity here, as mentioned in the video, usually when there is diversity in the company, there's creativity and innovation. A diverse workforce fosters creativity and innovation by, again, bringing in varied perspectives and experiences. Hence, uh, the quote, no, that two heads are better than one. So that means that if there's more than one person thinking, and not just one person dominating the discussion, generally it would tend to have a better um, uh, result, no, of a task, of a project, no. So again, diversity definitely enhances creativity. Another importance of diversity is improved decision making. Diversity leads to better decision making by incorporating, no, a wide range of viewpoints and solutions, which again, in this VUCA world, as they say, no, the term VUCA means volatile, uncertain, complex, and absurd. No, so we live in this kind of world. Hence, we need to be able to embrace non-traditional or unusual way of deciding, because we need to hear from other people as well. So that's the importance of diversity. So fostering inclusion and equity is essential for, again, putting it in organization, thereby creating a very supportive environment for everyone. Now, what are some benefits that we can see if we have an inclusive and equitable work environment? For one, you can see there's a tendency to have higher employee satisfaction because there's that sense of belonging, the boosting of employee satisfaction and morale, which again will enhance your overall company productivity. Also, you can see if there's reduced turnover, an equitable work environment tends to have or to lead not to lower turnover rates, no, as workers will feel valued and supported for their roles, right? Also, benefits of an inclusive workplace would be improved performance. No? So organizations that prioritize inclusiveness and equity often experience enhanced performance. No? And of course, another benefit could be a broader talent pool. An inclusive workplace attracts a wider range of talent, enabling organizations to benefit from diverse skills and experiences. So, what are some strategies that we can uh, take a look at to promote inclusion in the workplace? Probably that's something that you are wanting to know, no? Since this is the topic for this particular webinar. So let's look into that. Um, the first thing that I'd like to mention with regards to implementing inclusion would be about your policies and practices. The first logical step that you can do is to review your existing practices. A critical first step is to review your policies to ensure that they are inclusive and equitable for all individuals. So this is some work to be done, no? Because we all know that when we look at our policies in the company, some of it might be leaning towards a certain group of people, and because of that, we need to be able to review and embrace the principle of inclusion by ensuring that people are given uh, equitable access, no, to rewards, to resources, no, by the organization. Another very accepted way of implementing inclusion is by allowing some flexible work arrangements. Implementing flexible work arrangements can greatly enhance diversity and accommodate different employee needs and situations. We now live in a world where we are not just tied to the 9 to 5. We live in a hybrid world. We live in a world where we can work anywhere. No, so the concept of working from anywhere is now present with us, and because of that, that is something that we can take note in terms of implementing inclusive practices. No? So that can impact our policies. So meaning that when we embrace inclusion, no, we allow people to have the chance to have flexible work arrangements. Another practice or strategy that you can look into would be to establish anti-discrimination policies, which is essential to promote a fair and inclusive workplace culture for everyone. Okay. Later, I will be sharing with you some case studies of certain organizations, both local and abroad, no, that have already done some good practices regarding anti-discrimination. So again, that is part of implementing inclusiveness in the workplace. Another one is, of course, training on unconscious bias. No? So, training programs tend to address unconscious bias, which is crucial, no, for fostering inclusive atmosphere, no, particularly encouraging fairness. No, a lot of times, unconscious bias can appear in the process of managing performance, in giving feedback to employees, for example, in management's way of communicating with employees. So these are all possible scenarios that can happen, and we are unaware of that. No, and because of that, we need to be able to train our leaders, our managers of those particular unconscious bias. I've had particular instances, for example, when I train and conduct trainings for leaders and managers, that they will try to tell me that sometimes they tend to favor certain employees, for example, because of their certain educational background. No? So that could be an example of an unconscious bias because as a manager, as a leader, you tend to focus more on what the person, in terms of their education. And that means that you're not anymore giving other opportunities to other people who have a lesser or a more inferior educational background. So because of that, we have to train on unconscious bias. Also, we need to create a culture of belonging. No? The sense of belonging is considered to be one of the primary motivation of employees. No? How do we do or how do we create a culture of belonging? Number one is we try to encourage authenticity. The culture of belonging empowers employees to express their true selves, fostering authenticity and engagement within the workplace. Okay, so we need to encourage them to be authentic, their own self, as they say. No? So that's one way of how you can create a culture of belongingness. No? Another one, of course, is team building activities. Team building activities, engaging in those activities will strengthen relationship amongst employees, enhancing collaboration and camaraderie. So team building activities should be a normal activity that your organization should be conducting, no, on a probably a regular basis, no. Probably the organization has to put in some time and budget for it, no, because definitely team building tends to create that culture of belonging to that particular team. Another way of creating the culture of belonging is recognition programs. Implementing recognition programs highlights employees' contributions, making them feel valued and appreciated within the organization. So I couldn't highlight much more the importance of recognition programs. As a full-time consultant, this is one of the things that I advocate to my clients whenever they would want to be able to boost the motivation of their employees. So I always tell them that recognition programs are simple, no fuss, programs that you can do so that you can really recognize people, for their particular contributions, whether small or big. Try to recognize people. A simple note, for example, a simple certificate of appreciation could go a long way. Okay, so recognition programs is a way to create a culture of belonging. Another one is, of course, to have open communication channels. Creating open communication channels will ensure all voices are heard, fostering inclusivity and a sense of belonging among employees. So what I mean by having an open communication channel is making sure, no, that there is really an open discussion, an open dialogue. Nowadays, we tend to put ourselves in chats, in technology, for example. I would definitely advocate that you have regular days where you openly talk to your employees, for example, or create a discussion where there's no cell phone present, no? And everyone is presently communicating with each other. The effect of that, no, could actually go a long way, no, because you would want people to connect with each other, no. As they say, we always need that kind of person-to-person communication, no. And sometimes technology could enhance our communication, but a lot of times also it tends to create that kind of division when there is technology, because a lot of times there is miscommunication happening in technology, no. With the advent of social media, um platforms like that tends to create, no, division rather than inclusion, no, as they say. So again, we need to be able to look at practices of how to create a culture of belonging. Also, again, we need to encourage diverse perspective. Organizations will benefit greatly, no, from encouraging individuals to share their unique perspective. So this could be done through your cross projects, cross team projects. Create collaborative projects inside the organization by again integrating various viewpoints and expertise. So cross training your employees, having project based cases, for example, could actually help your employees to experience, no, being not just in their particular department, but also are
So Ronaldo, I think there's a bit interference in the.
okay, let me
Yeah,
pause
sure.
here for a while. Okay, so can you is my
Your video stopped. I can hear you. I can also see your presentation. Yeah, I think our trainer would be joining again, and then I will resume. Please be patient. Mr. Ronaldo, give me a minute. I'm going to give you the host power. Just hold on. I think you can share your presentation now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cohen. So just to continue, as I was cut off from my presentation, I was talking about encouraging diverse perspective. So I was talking about brainstorming. And of course, another best practice when it comes to diversity and inclusion is to create safe spaces. Establishing safe spaces for expression encourages employees to share their thoughts without the fear of judgment. So again, we're going to look at some cases later as how this is implemented, so that we can try to learn how to incorporate this in our own organizations. This time, let's also talk about how do we ensure equity in the workplace. So, in addressing equity in the workplace, we need to address and prevent workplace discrimination. So, here are some ways, that we can try to do that. One is to be able to implement clear policies with our employees. And that should mean that those policies are against discrimination to create the safe, and inclusive workplace for our employees. Okay. Training programs would also be a way to prevent workplace discrimination. So regular training programs should be conducted to educate employees about discrimination, fostering awareness and empathy in the workplace. Regular assessments as well can be done, and feedback loops can help organization identify concerns and ensure accountability regarding workplace discrimination. So one of the ways that we can do this is to offer equal opportunities for advancement. Equal career advancement means that we are giving opportunities, which is crucial for fostering an inclusive workplace where everyone can thrive. Again, the test of this is whether you're able not to retain people, especially those who have potential and can arise to a higher level of position. Are they given the proper opportunity? Okay, so another way to offer equal opportunity for advancement is to have a transparent promotion process. Implementing a transparent promotion process will ensure fairness and builds trust amongst your employees. So one of the ways that you can do this is to make the process of promotion a calendared activity wherein you are opening the doors to people and allowing them to uh, qualify themselves through the by having performance evaluation, performance appraisal with employees. That means that there is a transparent promotion process. Okay. Also, to add to that, mentoring programs are vital to guiding employees in their career. Mentorship programs usually are initiated by companies wherein they have employees who have had already a certain, wealth of experience in terms of the job or the position. So what you can do as a company is to encourage people to become mentors of people who are new or junior in their position. Okay, so mentoring usually works well by providing and transferring the knowledge and technology to other junior or newer employees. So a lot of times people can shy away from this because they feel they are not qualified. So in this case, a mentorship program in a company can actually promote equal opportunities for your employees. Okay. Also, try to create tailored development resources. Tailored professional development resources addresses the diverse needs of employees, enhancing their skills and opportunities. So this could mean creating an overall training plan for your employees, wherein people can apply and uh, recommend training programs that they can attend that will enhance their skill set. So this is something that the company can put some resources for. As a mentorship example, let me quote a particular research that has shown that effective mentorship programs for underrepresented groups can boost representations. No? Employee resource groups can facilitate formal mentorship, but can also create an environment where these connections are really supported informally. No? And a research by the Center for Talent Innovation found that women of color with mentors are 81% more likely to be satisfied with their career progression than those without mentors. I cannot again overemphasize the aspect of mentorship because I believe that mentorship definitely will help you address um, opportunities, no? Because whenever there are mentors in the company, people can look up to them. The mentor can share their experiences, their wisdom to the younger employees who will eventually become the leaders of the organization. Okay. Of course, another aspect of equity here is to ensure fair compensation and benefits. So how do we do this? For one, we need to emphasize fair compensation. That means this is essential for promoting equity within the organization and retaining talent. How do we ensure equity in compensation? For one, there's what we call internal equity, meaning that there should be the proper job groupings and job classification. And of course, there's what we call external equity, wherein the company tries to be competitive with the salaries and benefits of other companies in their industry or within their particular region. Okay, so that's something that the company can do, and because of that, they ensure that there's fair compensation and benefits. Another, of course, is to have regular pay structure reviews. No? So organizations can conduct regular reviews of the pay structure to ensure competitiveness. No? And I personally, as a speaker and trainer, I regularly conduct seminars and programs on compensation, to encourage practitioners in different organizations to be able to create good and competitive salary structures in their organization. Okay. Another, of course, is to have comprehensive employee benefits. Offering a range of benefits that will meet the diverse needs of employees is crucial for job satisfaction and retention. So obviously, when you talk about employee benefits, there's what we call company-sponsored and, of course, mandatory benefits as provided by labor code provisions. So that's what we call minimum benefits. No? But of course, there are benefits that the company can provide based on the resources available by the company. So again, those are all ways where we can ensure there's fair compensation and benefits with our company. As an example, Starbucks, as an organization, achieved a median pay ratio in the U.S. for women, of the BPIOC of 100% and committed to achieve gender pay equity globally. No? So for Starbucks, they have what they call the three in-house pay equity principle. So
Sorry, your internet has issues. We are not able to hear you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to do the same process again. He's going to be joining again, and then we'll. Yeah, he's here. Just a moment.
May I proceed, Mr. Tower?
Yes, I can see your screen. You can put it on full screen mode, please.
Okay. So as an example that I shared a while ago, Starbucks is able to achieve pay equity, and the principles that they follow means they use equal footing, transparency, and accountability. So that's a practice that an organization does to ensure there's pay equity. Now, of course, there are challenges and solutions that we will encounter. And here are some of the common barriers to inclusion and equity, that you might encounter. So, of course, there's what we call unconscious bias, no, the lack of awareness, and of course, the resistance to change. No, I'd just like to interact with our participants, no, at this afternoon. No, can you type in the chat box with regards to the common barriers, no, to inclusion and equity? Can you type in whether you are encountering, no, the barrier of unconscious bias, the lack of awareness, or the resistance to change? Kindly type your answers in the chat box. Especially for those who are uh, belonging to an organization. There. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of resistance to change and the lack of awareness. There. Okay. So thank you for that. Now, with the barriers that we have, here are some ways that we can develop effective solutions and initiatives. Okay. So one is you can try to create training and workshops to create the awareness. Okay. Implementing training workshops can effectively address barriers and enhance the skills of the workforce. I see nowadays that there's a lot of facilitators and training programs pertaining to DEI. And I suggest that if your company is experiencing the lack of awareness, no, and the resistance to change, training is usually a good intervention for people to be made aware. Okay, so that's one way that we can try to address the lack of awareness. No, another is to have diversity committees. These committees will play a crucial role in promoting inclusion and addressing specific organizational barriers. No? So this particular committee could be a top level involvement. It could be involving your top management. I would suggest that you raise it up to that level so that employees would feel that diversity issues and inclusion issues are a top management issue. No? So by creating that committee and ensuring that there's regular communication, that is one way to address awareness and resistance. Okay. Another solution that you can do is to create what they call employee resource groups. Employee resource groups will support underrepresented employees and foster community within the organization. And there are best practice for employee resource groups. Specifically, in Estee Lauder, which is a beauty company, they currently have 30 ERGs or employee resource groups with over 4,500 participants. And this will include groups for women, families, veterans, and more. Okay. So creating employee resource group is a good way to be able to, again, address the lack of awareness and, of course, the resistance to change. Also, make sure that you measure progress and make improvements. No, so how do we do this? We need to put in some measurement. No, measuring progress is crucial for evaluating the effectiveness of inclusion and equity initiatives within the organizations. In some cases that I've encountered, I see that they also put that in the KPI of their organization. in terms of inclusion. So data collection is also needed. They should collect data to understand the impact of their inclusion and equity strategies effectively. Another way to measure progress is through employee feedback. Gathering feedback is essential for refining strategies and improving workplace inclusion. So having the opportunity for employees to give feedback and vice versa. No, so this could be a way to measure progress. Okay. Of course, adaptation strategies, organizations must be willing not to adapt their strategies based on the data or results to improve inclusion and equity efforts. So let me now share with you, since we have been talking about the topic of diversity, equity, and inclusion, here are now some AI in their organization. So here are some of our international case studies. Okay. From Banco Pichincha, for it focuses on financial inclusion for women in Ecuador, addressing disparities in banking access. Okay. Heineken, a global company as well, works to improve gender representation in leadership roles across industries. Accenture supports employee resource groups that provides mentorship and advocacy for marginalized employees. Of course, we have the case of Microsoft investing in increasing Black representation within the company and has committed significant resources to DEI efforts. Sodexo champions gender balance and LGBTQ plus inclusion through various employee networks. Johnson & Johnson implements as well mentoring programs and diversity initiatives to create an inclusive workplace. For our local case studies, here are some examples that we can see as a benchmark. MSD Philippines, this is a global healthcare company and has been, again, a leader in fostering an inclusive workplace. It has already established what they call an employee business resource group to support employees from diverse backgrounds, including women and the LGBT community. Women's Network Initiative empowers female employees and promotes gender equity. We also have the Philippine Business Coalition for Women Empowerment under the Ayala Group of Companies. Advocates for gender equality in the workplace, addressing leadership gaps and wage disparities. They again support LGBTIA plus inclusion and economic equity. As a founding member of the Business Coalition for Women Empowerment, Ayala Land embraced digital platforms to ensure equal access to learning and development during the pandemic. This has helped upskill employees across roles and regions, reinforcing a culture of continuous learning and inclusion. The Philippine National Bank also strengthened its workplace inclusion by implementing a Safe Spaces Act. They enhanced the sexual harassment policies and created gender-sensitive environments for women and the LGBTQ plus employees. They also have the whistleblower policy, ensuring protection and confidentiality, encouraging employees to speak up without fear. So these are, again, very good cases that we can refer to with regards to how diversity, equity, and inclusion are being practiced. So I encourage our audience, our participants today, to refer to this particular case studies because they have been practicing and implementing such principles regarding DEI. So I hope I was able to give you, the practical side of what I've been discussing for the past few minutes. So again, this successful example of inclusive workplace what are some of their elements? What are the elements present in their inclusive workplace? For one, they have diverse hiring practices, meaning that they ensure a broad range of perspective and backgrounds in their workforce. Employee resource groups have been instrumental in fostering community and support for underrepresented employees within the organization. So I suggest that you look into this because these are some best practice that other global organizations have been practicing. Okay. Also, diversity training programs. Many organizations are implementing diversity training programs to educate employees about inclusivity and promoting, again, an equitable work environment. So, again, the lessons that we have learned from the industry leaders that we have mentioned, they become a benchmark for our inclusion initiatives. Equity in the workplace, these organizations provide insights for fostering equity, no? And of course, informing the best practices. No? So those are things that we need to be able to learn from them and be able to adapt within our own organization. So how do we implement best practices in your organization? Here are some suggestions. No? So I suggest you tailor best practices according to what I've shared with you a while ago. So you need to customize these practices to fit your own context and your own workforce because we have different backgrounds of organizations. So you need to be able to tailor it according to your own organization. Next is, of course, to assess current policies. Okay, so regular assessment of existing policies will be a very good way to again introduce or again encourage this particular principle. Employee involvement is definitely uh, an important ingredient with regards to implementing diversity and inclusion. So make sure that your employees are involved in these particular initiatives. Okay. And um, with the question, no, is employee engagement related to inclusion? No? So there's what they call inclusive engagement. And again, inclusive engagement ensures that all individuals, regardless of their background, their identity or abilities, have a voice and can actively participate in the decision-making process. So definitely, um, employee engagement is affected by inclusion. So that's why nowadays it's important for us to be aware that if our organizations are not inclusive, this could actually affect our employee engagement. So to wrap up my talk this afternoon, as a conclusion to my talk on the webinar on building diversity, equity, and inclusion in corporate HR, here are the things that I'd like us to remember as we wrap up the session for this afternoon. So it is a continuous journey. That means that fostering an inclusive workplace will be an ongoing process that will demand your dedication and at the same time from all levels in the organization. Okay, so that's one realization. Second, the implementing strategies presented here um, may be adopted so that you can be able to promote equity and inclusion. No? It starts with again making people aware, and sometimes change can happen with one individual, no, and other people will follow. So that's why in terms of implementing it, always try to look for the sponsor with regards to the change that you would want to see in your organization. And of course, we need to learn from the success of other organizations. By studying the cases about inclusion, organizations can learn and replicate effective practices that will benefit everyone. Okay, so that's the purpose of having best practices is for us to learn from it and at the same time adapt it to our own organization, uh, giving us that kind of encouragement that such practices can also be adapted by our own organization. So with that, no, I conclude my talk this afternoon regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion. So let me now turn over to our moderator for some avenue for questions or comments from the audience.
Thank you, Mr. Ronaldo, for such a insightful um, topic. And yeah, we can take some questions right now. We have some in the chat box, which we tried to answer already. Mr. Rupak already shared some multiple choice
Well,
questions.
let me take the floor for
Yeah,
a couple of
thank you.
minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much, Ronaldo, for your wonderful presentation. Though I was absent for a couple of minutes, but the time I have presented, it is really, really very insightful, and of course, very much usable for HR community nowadays because we are suffering a lot. I mean, we understand that we need DEIB, but once we are trying to implement it, the way the resistance comes out from different sources, from management, from stakeholders, from employees, from different sources, that is really very challenging for us to implement it. Um, let me share a couple of things, and of course, Ronald will be there for making a dialogue, as I told earlier. So before going to start this dialogue, just five key learning points. What I could understand, one is diversity goes beyond representation. So that is one very important thing. That means equity provides what each person needs to succeed, right? So equity ensures the fairness, not the sameness. That is another very important learning. And inclusion is active, not passive. So every people should feel heard, feel respected, feel valued. If we can ensure these type of issues, and the last more two things, belonging drives the engagement and retention. So the belongings is very, very, crucial term nowadays. We are hardly finding this type of belongingness in every organization. And DEIB is a business imperative, not just HR agenda. That is very, very tricky thing to me because always what I usually do, I always try to connect the business issues with the HR agendas, and I always tell that that is the HR professional who have the capacity or who should have the capacity to convert all the HR agenda, all the HR metrics towards business data or business metrics. So that is what I found, that DEIB is nowadays is not only the HR issues, it's the business issues. It impacted business a lot. There are so many ways how we can prove that it is impacted towards the business directly. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, let me share my couple of questions from my sides as well. And of course, we will take your questions as well from the chat box so that we can have a discussion. You can also answer these in the chat box. We are following it. And of course, our resource person will be sharing that. Number one thing, when you hear the word belonging at work, what comes in your mind? You can share in the chat box the couple of words that comes in your mind when you think about the belongings word. Acceptance, wonderful. Inclusivity, very good. Family, yes, correct. A place of belongs, feelings heard or valued, perfect, perfect. Relationship between collaborative, home, accepted. Now you see, we are we are always in the practice of belonging. We try to ensure that our people belongs the organization, but for this we need to ensure all these words have been written in the chat box. We are not bothering about that. We only want the fruit of this word, but we do not bother about how we can ensure this. That is a big thing. The belonging, to ensure this belonging, we need to ensure all these words. There may be hundreds of words in the chat box we can found. All these things are necessitate. The most important things is psychological safety in the workplace. It can give you psychological safety in the workplace. Now, coming to our resource person, Mr. Ronaldo, what do you think? How can we ensure this belongingness in the workplace?
Well, I would say, that to ensure that kind of belongingness, there's that kind of acceptance. No, I would definitely look at accepting people for who they are, for example, from where they're coming from, and having that kind of belief of, we are in one particular organization. So whether you come from a higher rank or a lower rank of certain positions, if you take away those positions, you strip away, we are all people, no? We have common needs, no? Universal needs, no? That can be fulfilled inside the organization.
Very good, very good. Wonderful. So, dear friends, you can also write if you have any questions in the chat box. I'm following it out, and of course we will try to address those questions. Though as a big crowd, so we muted everybody. You cannot unmute yourself to talk, but the chat box is open for you so that you can ask any questions. The presentation, at least a note will be there, and the video YouTube channel you will find to get the learning points from there. Okay, so the next question from my side is: imagine your team is very diverse. It is proven, but only a few people dominate the meetings. And as an HR representative, you're also in the meeting. What will you do? Please write your answers in the chat box. What you do in that particular scenario? You know that there are diverse people, but only a couple of people are dominating the total meeting. So, as a representative of HR, what is your initiative for this? And meanwhile, we can have our discussions with Mr. Ronaldo for this particular point.
Yeah.
And dear delegates, you can write your points in the chat box.
Okay. With this question, no, I like this particular question that Mr. Rupak has mentioned. I've actually encountered this, and we need to be able to learn how to encourage participation. No? I myself, whenever I facilitate meetings, I try to make everyone heard. No, so that means that if one person is dominating, no, if you have the opportunity.
Sorry, we cannot hear you. I think you can switch off your video camera so that the sound could be.
Yeah, there.
Please proceed.
There, yeah. So yeah, so as I've mentioned, usually when people are given the chance to speak out, no, even if they're quite quiet, no, or usually quiet in a meeting, by asking them to contribute, that's one way that we are trying to be more inclusive, no, that your idea, whether small or big, can be heard in a meeting.
Good, very good. Actually, I mean, in the meeting, what we have seen that it is a very common practices for all over the world that people feel, I mean, shyness if they are not getting any kinds of floor or any kinds of, I mean, encouragement. So we need to encourage people to talk.
Mhm.
Sometimes maybe it's not like, even though you can make the ice breaking during the meeting as well to make the people easy so that they can share, they can come up with their opinions, right? So we have also got a couple of opinions in the chat box, a lot of. So we need to ensure as the learning point from this idea sharing is, the first thing, need to be careful. Your eyes should be very much keen about whether the diversity is in place. I mean, it is not only in place in terms of the documentation. It is in place and actively, I mean, in place. So if you identify that the diversity, the inclusivity is not in place, active, try to activate this by other means. That is what we can do for this. There was a question in the chat box. How can you handle in the workplace where you can be transparent to the result of the fairness of promotion if they still jealous because they are more capable than them? Actually, the most important dealing point for this to me is make your performance management system numeric. So there is no option to give marks over there. Once you can do this, then everybody can understand whatever the performance management is, it is system generated. KPI based system nowadays or OKR based system is that much capable to deal all the achievements through the systems. You need not to put your achievements, put the marks of your team members. No, not at all. It is system generated marking. So all the reports are being calculated by the system and it is being generated through the system as well. Okay. All right. So, is there any other questions here? No, 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 no. Okay, okay, okay. Is being a friend of the employees or friend to the employees are good? Of course, of course. Someone is asking a question, very interesting question. Is being a friend to the employees are good? Look, HR is in such a role. They are friend of employers, they are friend of employees. So you need to make a balance for this. I'm sure
Yeah.
if Ronaldo can contribute on this particular point.
Yeah, what I'd like to say about that in terms of building friendship, definitely creating friendship is a natural output of our daily interaction with our co-employees. So that's a given. But what we have to learn is to set boundaries, and hence that's why we have policies in place as well to keep us in check. Because sometimes if we are not aware of certain things that might not be fair. Especially when it comes to the HR profession, there's always that issue of fairness. Whenever we do something, we need to learn how to be fair in terms of dealing with employees, providing resources if ever, so that they will consider us friendly, but also they would want us to be fair with them.
Cool. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Just one more thing I want to add. Be friend, never be biased. Be friend,
Mhm,
but be trustworthy to the company. Be friend,
mhm.
but at the same time be I mean make sure that you are maintaining the confidentiality. Don't disclose the confidentiality as against of the
Yes.
friendship. So these are the ethical point you need to maintain. Ethical point you need to maintain. Of course you need to become friend because HR is there. You need to be trustworthy to the employees as well. If they feel
Mhm,
you will be the HR professional, the smart HR professional or best HR professional. Once employee feel they feel comfortable to share even personal matter with you. That is what HR should do. So they have a very big role here. So you need to make the balance as well. Thank you very much for sharing this. The last but not the least, how do you think DEIB can directly impact the bottom line? All the way, DEIB is being treated as a HR agenda, as a humanitarian part, but nowadays it is also being told, it is also become a point of discussion that DEIB is not at all only the HR agenda. It can directly impact the bottom line of the company, the profit of the company, how it can be. You can write your answers in the chat box and let's have a discussion with Ronaldo as well. We can discuss together. Ronaldo, what is your thinking about
mhm.
it?
Well, I would say, no, when it comes to having the impact to the bottom line, the different principles, as I've mentioned earlier, you will notice that a lot of companies where employees tends to be engaged, they tend to be productive. And because of the employee engagement, which is highly tied up to DEI, for example, they feel empowered in their roles, in their positions. And because of that, you have more possibility that employees are able to contribute. They do not do quiet quitting, or they don't try to just give 80% of their their effort, but they give more effort. Yeah. So hence, when we do that, then I think that will definitely enhance and at least affect the bottom line of the company.
Very good, very good. You see, I just wrote a formula for performance. Performance equal to ability into motivation. Of course, there is a function issues there. So that
Mhm.
means if same ability people, ability is 100 and 100 for Mr. X and Mr. Y, but Mr. X is motivated 60%, Mr. Y is motivated 10%, the performance will be 60%, 6 and 10, 60 and 10 for these two people. That means motivation plays a very vital role in the performance. And motivation can be achieved, the practice of DEIB can directly impacting the motivational level of the employees, the satisfaction level of the employees. That means if you can correlate, if you can correlate couple of metrics you can use, the DEIB practices or the employee engagement percentage or the satisfaction levels, and connect it with the profit level or the revenue generation or the business growth, you will find a very positive correlation, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, very positive correlation you will identify between these two ideas. That's why all are businessmen at the end. So why they are practicing DEIB? It's not only for the people satisfaction. It at the
Mhm.
end it passively impacted the business outcome. That's why they are also in practice. They are interested to practice it. Without having the interest of the management, we HR people could not do anything. We understand that. We can fight with them. We can try to make them understand. But at the end, once you are going to implement it, it must be accepted and approved by the management. So when they will approve this type of initiatives to implement this DEIB in place, once you can connect the impact or outcome of DEIB, which is related with the business goal or business achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, just think about yourself. It is not at all HR issues nowadays. HR is not at all working only the people issues nowadays. HR is clean and clearly, loudly practicing business partnering role all over the world. So that is what we need to focus on. And the most important part is the mindset of our HR professional. The mindset. If you think that you are a people manager only, you will be playing one role. But if you think that you are a business partner, you will be playing a diverse role, which is really accepted and expected both by the management nowadays. Okay? So, from that point, the last question, I'm sorry, this is the last question. What role will AI and technology play in driving or hindering the EIB? As AI is concerned, nowadays we found everywhere AI is there. AI is dominating every part. So how can we, integrate this AI and technology if it is in place, whether it will be driving or it will be hindering the EIB? If so, what is your logic? Can you please contribute, Ronaldo?
Well, for this question, I think that since we are in the early adoption of AI and technology, there's much to learn about how this technology will help us, no, be able to do our work, no, and enhance our productivity. But definitely, I'm seeing that it can contribute um, to DEI, particularly in terms of sharing information to a more diverse platform in this case. No, so I can see it helping, but also on the negative side, there certain technologies like AI could also affect the aspect of authenticity and even not being true. No, so this could also be a platform that can be used, to spread probably negative news or fake news, for example. So that could also be affecting the principle of DAIB.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. It's very correct. Actually, the AI and technology always it's a tool. It's a tool. The tool will behave positively or negatively. It depends who is using the tool for which purpose. So once we
Mhm.
are using these tools, we need to be very careful that what are the positive sides of these tools can be extracted, and we need to use this type of tools in a positive way, and only then it will be helping us, driving us in the DEIB practices for getting some sort of like, the calculations or some sort of evidence, etc., to understand whether really DEIB is in practice or not. For example, for this webinar, if I'm talking about this, just giving a practical example here. In this webinar, there are right now there are 372 people. I don't know how many people are male and how many people are female. But if we could use some sort of AI and technologies, we could understand that yes, the representation is this much in proportion. I don't know in which part of the world what is the proportion. So that means for getting your understanding, for measuring different indicators, AI or technology can help you to for what? For implementing in a better way. All right. So if your objective, if your mindset, if your focus is positive, you can use this AI and the technology in a positive way. There is a one question from Andulu that whether this certificate of completion or participation can be used or recognized. Yes, you can use this certificate for any purposes, and the certificate is recognized for sure, no doubt here. One very interesting, statement from Povitro Chandra Sarkar. AI makes our job easy but makes our brain lazy. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much for your very, catchy statement here. It's true, it's true. But my suggestion is use AI. Let AI to be used don't let AI use us. Rather, we need to use AI. If it is, then only we will get the benefit of AI. Okay. All right. So, dear delegate, that is the last questions I had in my mind. We are going to end this program. Before going to end, there are notifications. World Academy launches some in-person programs in Malaysia. The programs are certified HR business partner or HR business partner masterclass, and then learning and development professional, certified learning and development professional, and also OKR, objective and key result masterclass. All these three programs will be facilitated by myself. I will be flying to Malaysia on Sunday, and Monday to Friday. These are the three programs there. So we will be launching this type of in-person programs, certification programs in different region, particularly in Philippines as well, very soon. So you will be notified for this. Both version, the physical program and also the live virtual program, both will be there, as well as the self-paced program also. So we want to conclude it here today, and we are really grateful to our resource person. If there is any final comments from our resource person for the delegates.
Yeah. So, as a final remark, so I'd like to thank everyone who participated in our webinar for this afternoon, and we hope to see you soon, no, in future offerings of World Academy. So now you can see what are the possibilities and programs that the World Academy can offer. So, have a very great day and weekend ahead to everyone.
Thank you very much. And one more notification that there is another virtual conference to be held in the first week of October. So stay tuned with us. You will be getting notifications. You can register so that you can enjoy couple of speakers presentations. There will be a conference, virtual conference. There will be more speakers to be talked on different topics. We will be notifying you. We will be, sending the notifications through email and social media. Stay tuned. keep like our page in the Facebook or Instagram, and also the follow our page in LinkedIn as well, so you will be notified so many free events and of course some paid events as well. But to be honest with you, our institute offers very competitive price, affordable price in terms of the quality of the program. If you experience any of our programs, you will understand what is the difference between our programs and other programs. So ladies and gentlemen, be connected with us. We will be of course launching different programs for free, for paid, for less payment, all types. So you can enjoy all these programs. Keep in touch with us, and our World Academy is always beside you for your professional development. I would like to thank all the delegates. Roughly around close to 400 people have attended. Despite of their busy schedule, we really grateful to all of you who have attended this program, and who could not attend, of course we can see them in the other program as well. We are grateful to our speaker for today's program. He made a wonderful insightful presentations for all of us. We had our team members in Philippines. They did a tremendous job to organize this event, and our core team from World Academy from different part of the world. We are really grateful on behalf of World Academy management. We are grateful to all of our team members for their great job. It's really a very big successful events for World Academy in the areas of DEIB. Hope to have more successful events in coming days with the participation, with the cooperation from all the stakeholders from the parts. Thank you once again. Now, Mr. Tawid, you can close the program. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
I think, sir, there was a question regarding the certificate. Yes, the attendance of certificate will be provided in a day or two, maximum.
Certificate will be provided. The link of the recordings will also be provided.
Also provided.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks. Take care.